Hey, what's up, beautiful Bellcast listeners? Welcome to another episode. I am Gio.
And I'm Bart.
And we are two sexy motherfuckers. So if you're listening to us on your listening devices, whatever that may be, then you're missing out on all the sexiness on your screen right now. Let me just preface it with, we're not doing anything different that you've never seen before. I just feel it right now.
Really? Sexy?
Yeah.
What makes you feel so sexy?
I think it's this lighting.
This lighting? What's lighting? The lighting in the JK office?
Yeah. Oh, we're also in the JK office, by the way.
Yeah, if you listen to the last podcast, and you know what's up.
We've been doing a lot of traveling, yeah. So this podcast is going to be moving with us quite a bit. Yeah, I just feel fucking jacked.
You feel jacked because of
and
your
I'm wearing
training?
makeup because and my diet
and the lighting
and my life.
So you just feel really good and strong right now.
Absolutely, I feel really good. And I'm like I said, I'm wearing makeup. I haven't worn it in like, oh shit, over a month.
A whole month?
Yeah.
Not really?
What do you mean not really?
No, like for reals?
Yeah.
You don't wear it at home at all?
No, ever.
You're just that beautiful?
Ah!
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Really? You don't wear it when we go to the supermarket, the store, or anywhere
No, I
like
look
that?
like fucking. That's why. This is a funny thing. So there's people that are like, you don't need makeup, and I'm just referring to myself, like women. And then the day we don't wear makeup, they're like, "Are you okay? You look really tired." And it's like, no, motherfucker.
Who says that? People always say that. I've never heard anyone go up to a girl and go, "You look tired."
Yeah, I mean, and even if they did, why would you be paying attention to that? They're not even talking to you.
Yeah, but I'm always eavesdropping, and I've never heard that.
Okay, well, cool, good for you, but it's happened to me multiple times.
Who tells you they look tired? I'm gonna fuck them up.
Literally, and it's happened to every single girl I can think of,
care about
unless
the other
they're
girls.
like hot ass fucking models that never wear, like the Brazilian chicks. They're fucking fine.
They're so fucking fine.
The French chicks are fucking
They're
fine.
fucking unbelievable. They're unbelievable.
The Mexican chicks are fucking. All right, fuck you, dude. Yeah, but no, I've
month,
gotten it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about when we shoot like podcast that stuff at home? Don't you put makeup on?
Yeah, when did we shoot that? It's been a minute ago.
Like 2 weeks. We shoot every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, well then it's been 2 weeks. Fuck, not a month.
Oh
my God. I know, I fucked up. Sorry.
And what about when you like lift or when you do, I don't know, you...
If I'm not filming, I'm not putting it on.
Because we filmed 2 weeks ago too. Some
Did
barbell
we?
videos, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it's
Your time is all
Really?
jacked up, yeah. That's why I can't trust you.
How long ago was it that we were in...
I just can't trust you. I just realized that.
How long ago was it that... Fine, don't trust me. Has it been that we went to Arizona?
Fucking last week.
My life is in shambles, everybody.
Or like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
What is it? I can't trust you either. What is it? What's the timeline?
It's roughly it's the same month. How about that?
True.
It's the same month.
Oh, it was 4th of July.
It's not
oh my God,
yeah.
it's only the 17th. Jesus.
Yeah. See, look, it's like a week or two.
Okay, then I haven't worn it in about two.
And is that a
2
big
weeks.
deal to you?
No, I'm just
Is it the
saying
same
that's
as
why
a
I
guy
felt
not
good.
getting a haircut for 2 weeks?
No.
Because if I don't get a haircut for like over 2 weeks, like 2 weeks is my max. If I don't get in 2 weeks, I feel like a matted dog.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like
Or
a
a
matted
cat.
dog with fucking pine needles that has no owner. No one gives a shit about
Yeah,
me.
because hair grows in different.
I feel yucky.
Yeah, they come in differently. So it's not like you cut it, right? And then like they all grow in at the same speed.
Yeah.
Because then you have like random stragglers, like one's growing really fast and the other 10 are like trying to catch up. So it does look really sloppy because I used to have a side shave.
Yeah.
So I would have to cut my hair every 2 weeks because if I didn't, then I looked homeless.
Yeah, but if I get a haircut, I feel sharp. I feel good. Ready to get married, you know?
Yeah, no, ready to get married?
Yeah, ready to get married again.
Oh, okay.
Married again, meet the president, you know, go on an award show. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for this Oscar. I deserve it.
You look really presentable though. Like you really need to do very little to look good. I guess that's most guys, yeah?
There's
What
a lot of
is
guys that
that?
are nasty.
I'm
I
just
think-
saying appearance wise. I'm not talking about hygiene.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They look nasty? Like they got to do a lot?
I think it's actually, for dudes, it's actually very easy for a guy to look presentable. But guys are so fucking lazy that they don't even go, not even the extra mile. They don't do the extra foot.
Because I think if just as long as their hair's done and they're shaved, their face is shaven, they're pretty presentable.
Nope.
Give it to me.
This is for all of you fucking college dirty fucks out there.
Male specifically,
And
or
probably early 20 fucks out there. All you have to do, whatever shirt that you want to wear tomorrow, please just hang it before you go to sleep, and their shirt will look good. But there's dudes that I know with fresh haircuts. They took a shower in the morning. They think they're fresh, but their shirt looks like this, crumpled the fuck up. Like you can tell either you slept in it, you did the sniff test off the floor. You're looking around. Does this shirt smell good? This shirt smell good? Or you pulled it out of your clean laundry basket, except it's been laying in the laundry basket for
2 weeks,
however many days. So it's really crumpled. And it could be a nice shirt. It could be a dope shirt, some like name brand shirt. But because it looks like this, you look horrendous.
Well, you wrinkled that really fast, and that's some really thick cotton shirt.
And that's what a lot of guys look like. A lot of guys, like, honestly, for a guy to look good, and here's some tips. For a guy to look good, just be, everyone has a limit, right? Of like some people have to shave every day. Some people have to shave like once a week. But everyone knows when they look presentable. Don't ever go a day past that. So if you're one of those guys that need to shave every day, the most you can go without shaving is 2 days. Because after that, you're going to look like you don't give a fuck about yourself.
And yucky.
Yeah.
There are some guys, though, that can have that like 5 o'clock shower and look fine.
Yeah, but you got to know your limit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
And then don't ever have bedhead. So bedhead is...
wash your face in the morning, too, please.
Yeah, so bedhead, it could mean, it could be long hair or short hair. Some people have short hair, and they're like, oh, my hair is short. But I can tell that you've been laying down the last 8 hours. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to have that. And then wash your face. You don't want to have this like grease.
Oh, the eye boogers too.
Yeah, eye boogers, like clean.
A little bit of mouth crust. We see all that.
Yeah.
Look how sweet women are.
All of that stuff you can take care of in like literally less than 10 minutes.
Well, you can take care of all of that with one morning shower.
One morning shower. So do yourself, take a shower. And then your clothes, just don't have your clothes sitting there. If your clothes is sitting there, it looks stale, like it's been sitting there. Have your clothes either prep it the night before, like the way mama taught you, hang it up or drape it over a chair or something. So it's, it's not wrinkled as fuck, your shirt and your and your bottoms. And have matching socks.
I hate that.
Because even people with like ankle socks, they're not going to see it. But if people walk by and people have good attention to detail, they see one sock is gray and it's tucked underneath here, and the other sock has like a hint of like a blue thread in here. They're like, okay, you're not wearing matching socks. Like those things, those little things tell you a lot about a person. Right.
Have you heard that saying, how you do anything is how you do everything?
I have heard that in many different ways.
And it's so true.
It's very, very true.
Well, some people don't give a fuck, at least when they're finding their significant other. They don't care that they're presented like that.
That's the thing. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that's the standard.
Yeah.
But the standard doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Like if you have a slob, you're a slob. Hey, match made in heaven. That's cool. And both of you guys want to be substandard. That's cool.
I've seen those couples.
And that's not a right or wrong thing.
It's just not our thing.
I'm just saying there's a
societal.
There's a standard, right? Like for example, when you buy a new car, you want the car to have no scratches on it. That's what people expect. So that's the standard. So it could be a car with literally 0 miles, but if there's 20 scratches on it, people are expecting a car with no scratches.
Yeah.
So
yeah. When I was dating, I would look for all of that stuff. I loved cleanliness.
Yeah.
So like if their shirts were wrinkled the way you're saying, or it smelled like mildewy, or like I'd be like, ooh, turn off. Nails were a big thing to me. Like if they bit their nails, I thought that was nasty. Or if they had dirty nails, unless it was like because of their job and they tried and there's just nothing that they could do with it. Like I get it. But if they had dirty nails all the time, I'm like, ooh, that's an indicator that you have very poor hygiene. Breath is another one. Yeah, the socks is a big one to me because it's like, no one's going to see it. So that's okay with you. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
very
for me,
picky.
No, I think you just have standards. So for me, when
that's what that's called, not pickiness. It's called standards. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like an acceptable amount of standards for everyone. I think as humans, we're all kind of like, we generally are similar. Like most people like The Office. Most people like Game of Thrones or whatever. Like I think we have a very like unified bond. And then I think there's the fringes, right? And then I think when you're up in the fringes, that's when you're like picky, or when you're like extremely like sloppy or whatever. So I think, but most generally, I think we actually, all humans are probably 70%, 80% in common on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So that was something that I always was aware of. Like, I don't dress the fanciest. I don't dress the most stylish. And even, you know, my infamous, everyone always makes fun of me during my Ghost of the Abyss days where I did Toys for Tots. So I had a whole pack of them. So I had 12 of them and they're really comfy. They're actually like this. They're like big, baggy, boxy shirts. And I had 12 of them, like I said. But they were all always unwrinkled, clean, straight.
They did have holes, but they were not wrinkled.
Yes. And I always made sure I looked and smelled clean all the time.
You didn't look clean before.
Of course I
but you
look
smelled
clean.
You had gray socks. You could tell that they were black.
But you could tell they're clean.
They were clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always wanted to make sure I looked and smelled clean. And I never left laundry in my car because, you know, your car is also another form of clothing. So it will soak up your scent. So my car, I never left clothing, sweaty clothes, gym bags, none of that stuff. All that stuff goes in the trunk. And I have an air freshener because your car, in your car seats, because it is furniture, it will soak up like that skin smell, you know?
I know what you're talking about.
So I made sure
Couches have that skin smell.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that my car didn't smell like a human being. I wanted my car to smell
A
good.
human bean, like a black bean, a pinto bean.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So like those are just some tips for you guys out there who are getting into the world of presenting yourself to, you know, just in the world. Look clean, smell clean, and have everything that's a representation of you be presentable and clean. And I think that'll go a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like when getting hired, getting accepted to schools, meeting your significant other's friends for the first time, meeting your significant other, dating, like all of that. It's an entryway. It's like a fucking, if you look presentable, a lot of doors open for you.
And also the crazy thing is it's not even a form of like judgment or anything, but also the more things that you've done, the deeper your vision is. You know what I mean?
No, for example?
Like what's crazy is like let's say we do an interview, right? And a guy shows up fucking sharp in his interview clothes. And most people's interview clothes, they don't wear it very often. They might wear it once a year or something like that, or even less than that. But they show up really sharp, even though, like, let's say our barbell gym staff, for example. I know they're not going to be wearing a suit and tie and none of that stuff when they're working, but I can tell what their gym attire looks like from their suit and tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if someone shows up in a suit and tie and I can tell it was borrowed or wasn't their size or they forgot to iron it before they put it on or, you know, that kind of stuff, then I'm like, oh, your gym clothes is going to look like that too. Like their vision gets very deep.
I see. Yeah, because you can start putting patterns together.
Or they cross their legs like that. And then I see that they have, the dress shoes are extremely nice. They just bought them. Cool.
But they have like gym socks on?
Yeah, their gym socks are on.
They're like, ooh.
And I'm like, oh, so you're not attention to detail or like
You're also a branding guy.
Yeah. Or like, oh, your socks don't match. Ooh, I can tell that when you're putting weights away, you're not going to put all the weights away where
facing
they all,
one direction.
One direction or where
They're
belong.
all going to be in and out. And
yeah, you're going to overlook a lot of things. Like
Yeah.
you can like the more shit you've done, like almost the more shit I've done or the more shit anyone has done, the less I actually need to hear someone speak.
Do you think it's a more shit that you've done or you just think that that's just an observation? Because that's just what you pay attention to. And I'm also a branding person, so we can see, like it feels like it's a normal thing because you and I bounce back and we agree to it. So now our world is us, so we validate each other.
No, I think it's a what's the word? It's like a been around the block thing.
Okay.
You know, like if you've been around, like if
It's like do you think it's like a class thing too?
It could be. I think it's observational, and I think it's class, but I think it's experience. I think it's all of that.
And
it's
by
like,
class, I also don't mean you have a certain amount of money because class doesn't necessarily mean money.
Yeah, you could be poor but be very classy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just like someone that gets robbed all the time, right? And then you're like, wait, where did you go? And then they're like, oh, just that block over there. And you look, and then from someone that has experience, you're like, I'm like, you didn't see the lookout on the roof? You didn't see that everyone in that neighborhood wears the exact same color? You didn't see, you know, like you pick these things up, right? Because you've been around the block, you know what's up. So you almost don't even need to.
I like that you're trying to like relate to the general audience by going, you know, when you rob shit, it's like, no, we don't know. We're not fucking hooligans,
when someone getting robbed, someone goes, every time I walk by that block, I'm always getting robbed. I'm always getting like shaken down, and they steal my shit. And I'm like, which street is this? You know? And then you go and you're like, oh, okay, there's a lookout on the roof. Okay, cool. And then that's a super rundown apartment, but there's a Mercedes S500 in the front. Okay, drug dealer. Oh, everyone's everyone is wearing the same colors. Okay, it's a gang infested neighborhood. But then if you don't have that, and you're like, some
You're
of
oblivious.
those transplants that come to LA and like, oh, the rent was so cheap, but I just keep getting robbed here. Don't tie the two together. It's like that. So I just think it's more of a experience. Your experience give you deep vision on these things.
Yeah.
So you just see things and you're like, you can extrapolate like boom, 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 boom. It's almost like a fighter or someone that's really good at basketball. Like Kobe probably sees someone's dribble and they're like, okay, this guy only knows how to drive on the right side. Because I saw him go to the left and it already looked awkward. So all his layups are coming from the right. I'm only going to defend him like this. I already know how he moves. Your vision gets so deep from the experience.
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, I'm going to pause you real quick because we're going to introduce our sponsor. All right, so I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Best Fiends, one of my favorite game that I still play till this day. I absolutely love it because it's the most family-friendly game that you'll ever play. And you don't even need to be connected to Wi-Fi. You can be on airplane mode. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can play this game. It's the coolest shit because okay, let me paint the world for you, okay? Think very colorful, very vibrant, cute colors. And there's a bunch of bugs that you collect. And the better you become at every level that you finish, you collect flowers and power. And then you can start trading those to collect bug friends. And every single bug friend comes with their own specialty and their own power, because what they're trying to do and what your goal is to do is to preserve your beautiful flower garden. But there's these nasty slugs, and we already know what slugs do to gardens. They F them the F up. So our bug friends here and you are trying to kill as many slugs as possible, because they're just going to rummage through all of your hard work creating this garden. So you do that, you attack these slugs, you kill them, you advance to the next level. And what's really cool is the world that they paint and that you're in. Really great for de-stressing, or at the end of the day, it's like a nice pause from reality. You just get to just be with yourself and you have a good old time. Make sure to download this game. It's a Best Fiends. It's like Best Friends, but without the R. Okay, so download the 5-star rated puzzle game called, again, Best Fiends. It's free. You can find it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. It's Friends without the R, Best Fiends. Check it out. And we're back. Okay, I get it. But do you see any of those things for females? Because I feel like in general, females are pretty put together.
A little bit here and there.
Which one?
But guys
shower?
are also just horny too.
Oh, so they just overlook it? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think, yeah. I mean, but I think I guess it depends on what hat you have on.
Here we go again.
What?
All right, what hats do you have on?
So, as a guy, right? You can get turned on by so many different looks. The businesswoman look. The red carpet. Oh, me and the realtors. The red carpet look. The supermodel look.
The slutty look.
The country farm girl look. The maid look. Like, there's just so many.
Literally, you're naming every single fucking profession slutified.
Fuck yeah, I am. I love women's and professions, but there's all these different looks, right? And they all can invoke a response, right? So with that, it's like it's a little bit harder for guys to, I think, be as observational.
So many roadblocks.
Yeah, versus I think girls can go look at her like, oh my God, I totally see what she's trying to do, but she's so far away from it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at her. She's trying to be rich, but we can tell from those earrings you're not. Like that kind of thing. I don't know if guys, I think, are
I'm just talking about put together, hygiene, that shit. I'm not talking about brands or rich or poor or whatever. I'm just talking about the equivalent of what females see with guys, where I'm talking about the nails and the shirt and how they smell.
So because guys are a little bit rougher around the edges, I don't know if we could tell.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I might look like a girl.
So it'd have to be an extreme case in my eyes.
Like you, for example, right? Like, I look at you.
What about me?
Yeah, I look at you and I'm like, I don't know, you look like you smell good.
Well, I do.
But because I know you, I'm like, oh, she hasn't showered in like 4 days. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Fuck you.
You know what I mean? So it's like
it hasn't been 4 days.
3.5. I don't know. 3.5 and a fucking time zone change. I don't know. But it's like, but it's for guys because we're rough around the edges. Like our measuring tools aren't as precise.
I got you.
We don't have German/Japanese eyeballs when it comes to like we have more Chinese eyeballs. So everything. Oh, I think that okay. That's okay. That okay. Yeah. Okay. That okay. You know. Like,
that person doesn't know English.
I mean, that's like, I don't know, Chinese quality control.
Got it.
I assume it's like,
Don't
they just
worry
like, oh,
about
that's good. The pass. Oh, the pass. You know, I think that's like, I think guys, it's more forgiving. It's not like, whoosh, like German or Japanese style measuring to the millimeter, you know?
Yeah. No, we
so,
like doing
So I
that.
think we're more rough around the edges. So I don't know if we can be as good. But so that's how I know that if I notice something yucky,
then it must be really yucky.
like if I see like a girl's scalp and it just has like a slight oil sheen or a mat, I'm like, ugh. I noticed that. Ugh. When's the last time you washed your hair? Like a week ago?
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, why did we get on this? I forgot how we got here.
I don't know.
Because I know you weren't talking shit about me, but what was it?
I hope I was.
I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I look at that shit too, and I'm kind of glad I'm not in the dating world anymore. Like I just feel like, all right, maybe because I'm older now, that I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with people's shit. I don't want to deal with anything.
Like discovering a person you don't want to discover
No,
someone.
before that was like my favorite part. You know, like the dating phase and like getting to know each other and like the giddy feelings and shit, and you're all smitten by each other. Like I love that phase. But now I'm like, ugh, cut it out. I'm over it. I'm old.
Are you over even just making new friends in general?
No, because I don't even see it as making new friends anymore. I just see it as just connecting with people. And some people I get really deep with, and some people I don't get too deep.
But is your friendship based on any of it? Is your friendship based off how deep the connection is? Like, can you be friends with a light connection? And can you not be friends with a deep connection?
No, it would be based on it. Yes.
So your friendship is based off the connection.
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Yeah, because then they make you feel a type of way, right? Like they make you feel comfortable. They make you feel accepted. They make you feel like it's going to be like a shared experience. They like, you guys bounce off of each other. Like you can grow whatever thought. They make you better. You make them better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What's interesting?
Just how people are.
What do you mean?
We were talking about this on JK News yesterday too, where I don't know if me and Jill are psychopaths, but like
yes, you are.
But like, you know, he was talking about how to him there's no difference between like a general and a mob boss.
I can see that.
Right? It's just where you have assigned.
They just so happen to be on different sides, but they're the same
You
shit.
assign soldiers to go kill.
Yes.
Right? And you're killing. Same thing with the soldier and like a street thug.
Yes.
You're both killing.
Yes.
But one is for good,
right,
and the other one's for bad. But who dictates?
One is selfish, one is selfless.
Yeah, and who's dictating these rules?
Right.
Because rules flip flop. Because you know, in high school, marijuana was just as bad as heroin. But now marijuana is completely cool. You could buy it on the street.
Delivered to your door.
Yeah, you could deliver it to your door. So it's literally a thin line that goes this way, and based off our society, we can move this line wherever the fuck we want. You know, one day this is good, one day that's bad, one day that's bad, one day this is good. So it's like, it's so fickle, right? So we have no real like, these are the rules that we're sticking to,
yeah,
right? So with that being said, when I see like how people make friends, and some people are like, their friendship is very politically based, right? Oh yeah, we have the same views. Or some people, they're very like background based, like, oh yeah, I grew up like this, you grew up like this, we're like super tight friends or whatever, right? For me, I'm like, I think my viewing of friendship and how deep I can get with someone depends. What?
No, I'm just anticipating what you're gonna say.
My viewing of friendship.
If you brought it up as like you and Joe are psychopaths, so I'm trying to think of all the psychopathic thing that you're about to say that makes you bond.
So my view of the world is actually, the world is just Mother Nature. Everything is fabricated, and every group is just trying to assert their rules, and they're going, no, Mother Nature's not, because Mother Nature to me is the wild, wild west, right? Bear grabbing salmon, fucking, I'm a male lion, you're a female lion. In order to make you horny, for me, I kill your son. And now you want to suck my dick.
Oh yes,
yeah. That's to me is what the real world is. That's planet Earth. But we have different groups that are like, oh no. The rules are like this. Like a religion comes in. No. The rules of our world are like this. And the political group, no, the rules of our world is like this. Or a country comes in. No, the rules of our world are like this. So for me, I'm like, all of those rules are just fabricated societies that people want to assert on each other. So for me, I'm not really married to any set of rules. I'm only married to chaos is the true rule. So for me, in order for me to thrive, I'm just going to play the game that I guess gets presented to me. And people that view things like that is how I realize I'm closer to them.
I see.
Does that make sense? Like people that veer on the side of viewing the world as a chaotic Mother Nature rather than a more idealistic utopia, that if they veer more on this side, I think it's easier for me to bond with them.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Because then there's nothing you can relate to with the other side because you don't believe in it.
I don't believe in it, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
How can you be friends with someone like that? Or you can. You can be cordial.
I just can't have that deep of a friendship.
Because you're not going to understand each other.
Yeah.
You're going to be saying the sky is blue and they're saying, but no, it's yellow.
Yeah.
And this is why it's yellow. And like, no, this is why it's blue.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What makes that, why is that psychopathic though?
Because I don't think the rest of the world operates like that.
Well, how do you think they operate? Like they need a set of structured rules, and then what do you mean?
So like my mom, for example, right? We just watched I forgot what we just watched recently, but like let's say they're like
Black Widow, so good.
Yeah, we did watch Black Widow, but not this is the Black Widow thing. But
Enter
for example, like someone that goes like, oh yeah, the freeways are made for this, and then later on, so that's why everyone needs to follow the rules because it's made for this. But then later on, we find out, I think, what was it, like Eisenhower created the freeway system? And he actually created the freeway system actually as a military defense mechanism, because in that way you could transport military supplies across country way faster. So what has been presented as like a for the people move, for the civilian move, it actually has deep-rooted government benefits, right? So someone like my mom take things for surface value, and because like A equals president does good, then everything that this person says is good. And they draw the line like that. Versus for me, I'm always like, who has motives? What benefits who? What's the real reason? And so on a lot of things that are deeper, it's really hard for me to connect with my mom on those things because I think she's more of the more utopian, idealistic view of the world. Versus for me, I'm like, yeah, right now we have freeways. That's cool. But in 30 years, it might all be hyperloops, and whatever culture we have around the driving system could be out the window. So for me, I'm like, I'm just playing the game as it comes. So right now, if we all stop at red lights, go at green, cool. That's what I'll do. If we all like give people the right of way, if people on the right hand side, they go first for the smoothness of society. I understand that. But anytime someone wants to flip the script, I'm with that too, because I understand things are going to change, you know? So like versus my mom might be like, no, we want freeways. You know, it's like, it's just a little bit different. And that's just like one example, but like that's kind of like how I view things, where I'm like, because ultimately the world to me is lion killing lions. That's the world.
Absolutely.
So that's how my basis of the world is, not lions respect each other's space. You know, whereas I feel like my mom or any other people that view things in a more utopian society that are like, guys should always open doors for women, you know, like a very like, this is the code how it's always been. I'm like, now the code has been lions kill lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so very simply put though, it sounds like people think like sheep or like lions. Very simply put, not very complicated. It's just how it sounds to me. But I feel like I'm more in the middle of that, where I'm like, I'm inquisitive about things, and I the older I'm becoming and the more experiences I get under my belt, then I start seeing, human behavior and how closely we are to animals, really. Like we're all trying to survive. We're all like, so like the mom example, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of extreme to leave the steering wheel to someone else, to your life, letting someone else drive it for you. But then I feel like you're the other extreme of going like, nah, fuck no. I'm always driving this. For me, I'm like in the middle going, well, let me see this side and let me see this side. And then I'm like, okay, well, what's fitting for me? What understands for me? What fits like my lifestyle? Yeah. And then I'll go, actually, that one, like your sidebar is a little too extreme for me. That's not it. This one is I can't do that. So I'm just gonna pick from both and then just kind of go down the middle.
Yeah, for me, it's like U.S. is a superpower right now. But the minute I feel like U.S. doesn't have like you, me, and Taika's best interest in mind, I have no problems moving to like New Zealand or something.
Damn, no patriotism.
I'd served the country. I actually served the country. But to me, the patriotism is it's also like adaptability too. Like I serve the American spirit. You know what I mean? Not the biological vessels that occupy America.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the samurai spirit still lives till today. And the samurai spirit might not even be Japanese. Like we see it in the weight room all the time. Like there's a lot of samurais lifting weights and powerlifting versus you go to Japan and they might have lost their way. But I'm a patriot towards that spirit.
Gotcha.
So to the American spirit, where we have like you pick yourself up by the bootstraps and when you want a goal, you go and accomplish it. That to me is American.
Yeah.
And then if the physical country of America.
That's literally how America was established.
Yeah.
They left England, right?
Yeah.
And then they came here because they're like, we don't agree with that. Let's make our own shit.
Yeah. If the physical country of America isn't American anymore, I'm a patriot to
the spirit
of it. So if I feel, I don't know, another country, France is more American, I'm like, oh, I like how they do things. That's for them. It's very like, let's go out and do it. I'm gonna go over there. That's my people now.
Gotcha. Okay. I understand where you're coming from.
And so because of that, I realized there's just not that many people that think like me. Because I think most people maybe they don't have as much trauma as me or something, so they're a little bit more idealistic. But me and Joe see eye to eye on a lot of things. And that's why I think it could also be, because I'm open to everything, maybe I'm not the normal and me and Joe are just psychopaths.
I see.
Because I don't always go like, I don't go, this is what I see, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm like, this is what I see. It's clearly different from what you see. I would like to think I'm right, or I have problems. You know what I mean? So that's why I think maybe it's me and Joe have problems and the rest of the world is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a cool way to look at it because you still remain open to it.
Yeah. I'm not open. I don't go like, hey, my mom's for sure the dumbass. I'm like, maybe my mom is right. I'm the fucking weird one,
Yeah. Yeah. I would side more with you though. Because for me, I feel like my understanding of my world through my eyes, right? Because we all live in the same fucking world, but we see things absolutely differently.
Yeah.
The world in my eyes is meant to be not lived in a straight line. Nothing is permanent. Nothing exists and lives forever. So you should be open to change. At least that's how I feel is correct. Because I think the minute you start going like, no, it has to be this way. This is the way it's been. This is the way it always has to be. Then I'm like, fuck, we're in some fucking problems, buddy. Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah.
For me. I don't know. Like someone like, I don't know. Like it's hard, right? Because we're all just so different and we carry different traumas and we have different cultural backgrounds. We come from different societies where we've confronted different things, wisdom, all of that shit plays a factor into how we feel about shit. And like, it's hard to say that one side is correct versus the other.
That's why I think it's harder. It's going to be harder and harder for me to make friends.
Because you feel that what?
People don't see things that way, the way that I see it as much. And if you don't see it that way, it's hard for me to connect that hard with you.
True. Because I was about to say, like, I don't mind that people don't see things my way because I love a challenge. I love seeing things from new perspectives. I love getting put in my place in a very respectful way. Like, I like when I'm like, no, the sky is blue. And they're like, well, actually, if you consider this and then it's explained, I'm like, oh, shit. That's really cool. And I respect that. And I like a person like that. I like someone who doesn't back down, but is still very much open and respectful to whatever it is that you see or feel or whatever. And we might not be able to see things eye to eye. So yes, I'm with you where I'm like, I can't imagine having a really deep bond because we're gonna like, we'll bump heads at some point, respectfully even. But I'll respect that person, like highly, highly respect them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, just how different I am from like a year ago to 5 years ago. And if I look back at how I was even 5 years ago, I'm like, who is that person? And I don't know what, like, I wouldn't even be able to explain how that happened. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, like, I just feel like I'm so different and I view the world so differently. Whereas 5 years ago, I was so rigid to my idea. And I thought I was really open back then.
So you feel like you had a drastic change in the last 5 years?
Yeah. I feel like I had like a really world shaking fucking, my whole brain was just thrown away and I got a new one.
Wow. Like that,
it feels very
crazy.
extreme. It feels very extreme to me.
That's crazy.
Whereas sometimes if I'm like,
are you ashamed of who you used to be?
I'm not ashamed.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh shit. Interesting.
What do you think caused it?
Caused the change?
Yeah. This drastic, huge change.
I mean, I had a lot of loss in my life. And dealing with that and trying to be okay with it and then trying to grow from it, that really put a lot of things into perspective really quickly for me. Because if I didn't do that, then I felt that I was going to go in like a downward spiral. Because it's like, it's easy to say, I mean, it's always easy to blame other people, but it was going to be easy for me to just get down on myself and just be like, who am I? I fucking suck. I'm a horrible person, you know? And I'm like, but I know I'm not. I know I'm a really good person and I know that I want the best for people. And I want to be happy. So it's like, let's focus on those thoughts. Yeah. So I think that was a huge one for me.
Yeah.
And I just had a loss, you know, because my dad passed and then like even our dogs passed. And I just had a lot of truths presented to me very quickly without like any warning. It was just like, boom, here's the big fucking truth that you didn't know. And it's like, oh shit. And it was all relatively like clumped together within like, what is it? Couple years. I'm like, oh fuck, what do you do? So you just gotta act quick. And I never like being down on myself for too long. Like it's okay to be down and sad and feel the negative feels. I think it's very normal and I don't shy away from it, but I don't like feeling that way for a long time. And also extremely happy. I feel like that's also very weird. Being happy all the freaking time. Like, I don't know. I just feel like both of those extremes.
I think it's okay to be extremely happy all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I actually think that's hard to be.
Extremely happy all the time? True.
Because
I'm not extremely happy all the time.
Yeah. And I think that's a problem. Like, why is, the thing to focus, it's like, why is it always just problems we focus on? You know what I mean? Like, depression's a huge thing, right? But like, what about, I don't even know. We don't even know the opposite term of depression. Right? But even in physical health.
Well, happiness isn't the opposite of sadness.
Maybe not. But I'm just saying like.
Let me look that up. I forgot what it was. Go ahead.
But like, how come nothing? How come like health isn't the focus, right? It's illness is the focus.
You mean like in our society?
Yeah.
Well, isn't it fabricated and created that way? Because just us as people, like as animals, we enjoy drama.
Yeah. That's why I understand the mechanism. But what I'm saying is that's the part that I think is not good, but I think it is good to celebrate those things.
Celebrate the
positive
highlights?
parts. Yeah. So if someone is always happy, so to me, it's like, I'm just breaking it down very fundamentally. Let's say it is sadness and happiness, right? Let's say that is the spectrum. And let's say someone is always happy all the time. To me, that's the equivalent of someone that is in like super good shape and their blood pressure is good, their digestion's good, they're sleeping good. It takes a lot to keep your body like up there, right? To keep your physical health in like tip top, like F1 race car shape. It takes a lot. And so kudos to them for like, you know, being disciplined and having an awesome lifestyle to have an F1 race car body. But also kudos to the people that are also able to have a F1 race car brain too. So if they're able to put themselves in a very happy place, I don't know, maybe there's someone that's always meditating like morning, noon, at night, and they're always like reminding themselves how grateful they are, how they're grateful to have their family or to do the job that they want, that they have food on their table, that they get to watch their favorite movie once a month, or, you know, just these constant like reminders. Like, I feel like something that happens in Christianity a lot is when you like pray, you know, or when you say grace at the table, you kind of do this like communal reminder of like, thank you, Heavenly Father, for the food on this table. We're about to eat it. And I actually think stuff like that's very healthy. What are those called? Like affirmations, where you say things over and over? Yeah, I think like affirmations of how good you have it. I think it's so good, because I actually think it's really hard to be extremely happy all the time. And that's because a lot of us are just so focused on the negative.
Well, and we're also complicated. We're a complicated species and a complicated society.
Yeah.
And we're really smart people. I mean, we're really smart species. We're aware of self. That already is fucking huge. You know, so I think there's just so many things that, you know, serve as distractions, and like we have different emotions like envy, jealousy.
So if we choose to focus on those, right? That's what I'm saying. The people that choose to focus on the good stuff, kudos to them. The people that are happy all the time, they chose to focus on the good stuff. They chose to do the mental equivalent of jogging every day, hydrating every day,
but
sleeping every day. But they focused on making their brain the F1 race car of positivity.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard.
It's very hard, but they did it. You know, it's just hard to stay fit and lose weight and eat healthy, right? Like, who the fuck doesn't want to eat a bag of Doritos versus a bag of spinach, right? But the person that is eating the bag of spinach, kudos to them for being healthy and having great blood pressure. And, you know, so same thing to me, the person that's extremely happy all the time, they did a really good job of all the mental work that it takes to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. But then if you're happy all the time, do you ever grow?
Hell yeah, you're constantly growing. Like, if you're extremely fit, do you get fitter?
True. But then something has to happen where you kind of plateau and something needs to change.
Then you get even happier. This is how I see it, right? Like, to me, it's like when you're fit, you're in a state of like great physical health, right? And if you're happy, you're in a state of great mental health, right? That's the parallels that I draw. So if you're having great physical health and you are able to sustain that for long periods of time, spirit? From 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 in great physical health, if you're happy from 40 to 50 to 60, so as more life comes at you, you maintain the same levels of happiness. Those to me are all mental PRs. You know, like when you see the 70-year-old with like childlike wonder, you're like, that's a fucking PR right there. That's a happiness PR.
Well, 70 is kind of, what if there's something else going on?
Okay, so let's say like a 50-year-old, right? A 40-year-old even.
Just kidding. 70's not even that
like
old.
A middle-aged person with like childlike wonder.
Yeah.
And they still got that jolliness, you know? You're like, man, those are mental PRs right there.
That's true, because by 40, 50, you've gone through shit, man.
Yeah, like when I see bubblegum, I don't see it the same way Taika does. I'm already, like, compared to Taika, I'm grumpy as fuck. And I'm happy.
Yeah.
Compared to Taika, a 12-year-old is grumpy as fuck.
Yeah.
But if you could still be like, to a chocolate egg. It's like, fuck, that's awesome, dude. Like whatever you did to maintain that level of happiness, that's good, dude.
That's fucking cute.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we're all striving to do. And I think that's what religion is also striving to do, right? Like one aspect of it is like trying to help you reach that either nirvana or heaven or whatever you call it, right? Like enlightenment.
Because the more we experience, the harder it is to reach that level too, right? You have a Michelin star steak, then now the steak your dad makes isn't the best anymore.
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
You're like, oh, the steak my dad used to make was bomb, but I fucking had it over here. You know?
Yeah, your standards change.
Like
your
now we'll see
change.
like a mind-blowing fucking Marvel movie. You're like, it's like, motherfucker, do you see how there's fucking robots flying in the air? And you're like, it wasn't as good as the other one. But then if you really zoom and pull back, you're like, dude, tell that to the person that used to only watch black and white movies. Every Avengers movie is fucking good.
That's true. Damn. Well, fuck. We got a lot of life to live. I'm stoked. Well, it looks like we're at the end of our podcast, baby. Anything else you want to add?
Never.
I love you. All right. On that note, everybody, I want to say thank you for everyone listening right now. We love you and appreciate you so freaking much. And we also want to say thank you to our sponsor. Thank you to Best Fiends. Make sure to download the 5-star rated puzzle game that I love. Best Fiends is free, so get that today. It's on the Apple App Store and Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Don't forget to check out barbellbrigade.com. We have everything that you need to be strong, from supplements, clothes, and also we just restocked on all of our lifting equipment: knee sleeves, wrist wraps, straps, duffel bag, our famous all day long sleeve. It's a super baggy, super comfy shirt that's good all day long. So it's called the all day long sleeve. Go check that out, barbellbrigade.com. And don't forget to go to junebishop.com to get all of your matcha needs, ceremonial grade matcha at affordable price. And if you use the code BEAW, B-E-A-W, not the code David So or Genius Brain, but the code BEAW, B-E-A-W, you get 10% off all matcha tins. And yes, fuck you, David. I love you so much. Make sure you use the code BEAW, B-E-A-W, to get all of your Junebee needs.